the season 2 finale. Unexpected and triumphant.
Hope you guys are ready for what's in store. It's going to be heavy, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be explosive. And I just want to thank you all for watching, supporting, and giving us all the love. We owe it to you guys, so thank you.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love P-Valley, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about P-Valley Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And finally, the season is over. How y'all feel, man? How do y'all feel about this season finale? It was crazy. A lot of different things was happening. Of course, Diamond, he did not have the best luck once again messing around with Keyshawn. Like, really? Back-to-back season finales, this dude gets screwed over trying to help this girl out. I just don't know. Hopefully he is able to survive. I mean, we know he was able to survive this episode, but if you get that season 3, hopefully everything ends well for him. But from the looks of it, it ain't looking too good. Now, of course, in this episode, we saw Grandma Ernestine. She survived. She's back and she's doing well. I'm happy that that happened and she was able to beat COVID. Your girl, Autumn Night, she said, you know what, Uncle Cliff? I'm going to get the last laugh. She screwed up the whole deal as far as selling the Club Pink for $5 million. She waited and she got screwed over. Well, she should have just sold the club from the very beginning. That way she would have got that money, but she didn't, and y'all saw the conclusion of that storyline. But will Autumn Night come back? Some of you guys say looks like she probably went to like New York, maybe Chinatown or something like that, or maybe just overseas somewhere. At the end of the day, we know Autumn, she's slippery and she's very smart, and you know, she did end up getting the last laugh, but I think Uncle Cliff's whole game plan with Corbin played out very well. And yeah, she did take that 24K, but Uncle Cliff, in my opinion, still won the war. And also in this episode, we saw your boy Derek and Keyshawn. That storyline, it pissed me off. That probably was the storyline that I was the most pissed off at watching it. I told you guys Derek is very slippery, but to see how he was playing victim and how that all played out with, you know, children's services and Keyshawn going off, I'm looking like, oh, hell no. Like, really? Once she threw on that hoodie and put the hood on her head, I was like, yeah, she's about to get screwed over just like Little Red Riding Hood. I already knew it was over, and I hated how it ended for her. But I'm also getting tired of her going back and forth with Derek. This whole storyline, somebody has to get dropped off. It needs to end, and it seems like we're going to continue to see this in season 3. You guys let me know what y'all thought about that. And of course, Big Bone being connected to Montavious. That whole fan theory was true. We've been talking about that at least over a month and a half. It finally came true. I just want to know what's going to happen next, and you know how everybody's going to deal with it, seeing that Diamond is not around. And I'm eager to see how they're going to figure it out as far as Diamond getting that help, and once they realize that he is missing and something is wrong. Now I'm going to try my best to go over the key points in this episode. Like I told you, if I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. So what happened in P-Valley Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale, titled Mississippi Rule. Now the episode starts out exactly where we left off in last week's episode. Andre's having an argument with Brittany. She's pissed off that he's up there, you know, making out with Autumn or whatever, or Haley, or whatever you want to call her. And she confronts him. Now she states that, you know, did I deserve this or whatever? I guess I deserved it. And Andre said, yeah, you did deserve it. So they're going back and forth. It seems like Brittany is trying to work things out. He is talking about, you fell in love with somebody else. That wasn't me. Of course, she does know the truth now about his pops being locked up and, you know, him lying to her. It was funny because Brittany went off on Autumn, telling her she better back up before she pull her lace front out. I mean, she was on one in this episode, man. But it definitely seems like she's trying to fix things. Will she actually fall for the real Andre, or is she just in love with the one he showed her? Now Corbin comes out and he tells Andre the numbers are up. It's looking like he's going to win. So Andre is expecting good news, and that's exactly what it looks like. it looks like he's about to be the next mayor, and he's not going to lose, right? But no, that is not the case. We know Patrice will end up winning. Now, Little Murder, he is, looking in the mirror, seeing all these different versions of himself, trying to figure out what he wants in life and what he wants to go out there and do, right? And his whole entrance and the way that he performed was crazy. He went out there, he told DJ Never Scared to drop the beat, cut it straight off. He wanted to go straight raw a cappella, and that's what he did. He was spitting bars, and when that beat dropped, man, it was crazy. He did perform the song that he had when Mercedes listened to in last week's episode. We can hear the lyrics of 7 Pounds of Pressure, and your boy Maine felt some type of way about those lyrics, about that song. He didn't like that Mercedes was up there dancing. And Mercedes, she was killing it. It was her final dance, and she was not playing around at all. You can tell she took this performance very, very serious, and it was in the zone. Her and Little Murder was up there killing it. What a great performance. And like I said, your boy Maine, he didn't like it. And you already know he's going to have a conversation with Mercedes later on in the episode. I'm just happy nothing happened as far as, gang violence between Maine and Little Murder in this episode. Now, Andre gets the call. He's thinking that he's about to go out there and, give his speech because he's won. But no, Autumn is telling him, she's there for him, don't feel bad or whatever because he did not win, right? But your girl Patrice, she won instead, and she's celebrating. She was out there praying. They released the results. She is the next mayor of Chucalissa, and she's the first black female mayor of Chucalissa. It's crazy. Like I told you, it goes back to the very beginning of the season where we saw Patrice going up against Wayne Cow, and this is the conclusion of that storyline. She is not that girl you want to mess around with. She continued to fight no matter what, and she got that victory. So we can expect to see her and Wayne Cow to go back and forth, but seeing that she's the mayor, I'm expecting the two to do business together down the line. Now, Andre comes out and announces that he's going to decide to move back to Chucalissa and that he's going to eventually open up his own law firm, which is good news for him because even though he lost, he's willing to stay, he's willing to build, and be a part of this community. So I want to see how that all plays out. Now, Uncle Clifford gets the news about Grandma Ernestine. We finally get the results back, and Grandma Ernestine has made it. She did not pass away, and that's good because, man, those signs was pointing towards death. There were signs that was pointing towards life, but the majority of the symbols that we saw this season was definitely about death, right? But Grandma will pull through, and that's good. Now, your girl Keyshawn is preparing herself. She has gotten the car. She's gotten the money. It seems like this, at least the start of this game plan is going to work. And I was just hoping and praying that she would be able to get through and it will work. But deep down inside, I knew something was going to happen. I knew she was not going to be able to ride off into the sunset and everything is going to be good without having to deal with Derek. I knew eventually that was going to be an issue, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Now, we get to the next day, Little Murder, Uncle Cliff, they're having a conversation, and Uncle Cliff is pretty much over it. Uncle Cliff is talking about how Little Murder needed to just go off and pretty much just do what he does, be successful within his career, and the memories that they had, that is good enough for Cliff. As long as Grandma was back, Uncle Cliff is going to be good. Little Murder was not liking that at all. He wanted Uncle Cliff to say, look, I want you to stay because we know Little Murder's going on tour, but he wanted Uncle Cliff to fight a little bit more for him. Now, Little Murder does state that maybe he should come out and just tell, everybody about the real him and, see how that goes. But Uncle Cliff is talking about don't mess this up. You have a big opportunity for yourself. But the way that it ended, Little Murder really felt like he wanted Uncle Cliff to fight harder, especially when he mentioned Grandma, and that's all he needs. Then we get to Patrice. She's giving her little speech. She is the first black female mayor of Chucalissa, and everything is going good. Mercedes sees her mother on TV, and she's upset, and she can't even believe this has actually happened, that, she's won. Now, Mercedes does get a package in the mail. It's from Farrah. She sees the pictures that she took, and it's more like a poster. And of course, she sends her a check for $30,000. So she getting paid. She's definitely getting paid. And she wants to know all the details. Farrah tells her it's royalties for her using her pictures and, her being able to show everybody the Mercedes experience through her art. And this could be, something down the line that Mercedes can take advantage of. It is good to see that Farrah looked out for her. We know Mercedes did have issues with the coach, but Farrah, she's here, and she's here to support Mercedes, and hopefully the two, can see each other down the line in the future. Now, Andre is having a conversation with Adam. He does ask her about her getting that deal with Promised Land. We know Patrice did win the mayor, and also it got passed as far as breaking in the casino. So that means maybe she's going to have a deal. Now, Andre does ask her about what she wanted to talk about. And Adam ends up telling him it's the things that we don't say that matter the most. So Adam is not going to tell him about the supposedly twins that Whisper predicted that she was going to have. She's going to keep it to herself, which at the end of the day, I told you guys, will come back and hunt her. Now, we get to Georgie. Adam was talking about, she wants more money. She wants $15 million this time around. But Georgie is like, hell nah, I don't even need Club Pink anymore. I'm good. So maybe you should have took the offer that I gave you earlier, which now we know is a little bit too late for that. Of course, Adam is arguing, talking about you need the club. Like, what are you talking about? And then Georgie, she tells her, like, look, I don't need the club. And, when you had a person on my level, you make things happen. So we know that this casino will be built on Corbin Cow's canal. And Autumn Night is very upset about this, on how this even happened. And she plans on confronting Uncle Cliff later on in the episode. Now, Wayne Cow is very pleased about the news. Corbin, he is very, very happy. He's celebrating. He's screaming. We know he wanted to beat Autumn Night. And, getting that advice from Uncle Cliff, it actually paid off. Now, Grandma Ernestine, she's back at home. And she wants a coming home celebration. She's not playing around at all. And she invites Big L, Duffy, and the African to help her set everything up. So it seems like she's preparing for a great ending of this episode. It was good to see Big L there. We know Big L and Uncle Cliff, they pretty much just squashed the issues that they had in the last episode. It was a no big deal in this season finale. Now, see the spirit of Uncle Cliff's mother once again. And she's pretty much saying that you're not about to sit up here and just let love, walk out the door like that. You need to do better. And she states that love did not kill her. A virus did. And sometimes you got to take that risk, because sometimes you do get that reward. So we already know Uncle Cliff took those words to heart, and we know just based on how this episode continued to play out. Then we get to the last scene between Little Murder and Keyshawn, and they're talking about Uncle Cliff and if Little Murder is going to miss Uncle Cliff, right? Well, they both will. And it's kind of sad to see how everything is going to go, seeing that he's going to go on tour and Keyshawn is going to be leaving as well. But we know that's not going to be the case, because they're both going to end up staying. Keyshawn, she ended up staying because her whole game plan messed up. And Little Murder ended up staying because Little Murder has so much love for Uncle Cliff. And once we saw Keyshawn get into that car and she put that hoodie on, we already knew that was a sign of Little Red Riding Hood. And I knew it was pretty much over for Keyshawn. I knew this whole strategy that she had with Autumn Night was not going to work. It was just a matter of time before we saw it. Now, your girl Mercedes, she's in her studio and she's killing it. Now, Patrice comes in and they have a conversation. Of course, they're talking about Shell. We know Shell is not doing too good. She's trying to get herself clean. And, Shell ended up telling her she needed her to take care of Terica. We know Patrice is going to be busy with the whole mayor thing and running the church. And she says, you know what? How about you take care of Terica as of right now? Now, she could have just took Terica somewhere else. But Patrice decided to allow Mercedes to take care of her daughter, which I thought was a good deed, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because Patrice could have did something completely different. And Mercedes, even though her mom is not perfect, we know Patrice, she is trying to change a little bit, right? A little bit. But she's, at least putting in that effort to do so. And to be honest with you guys, I believe Mercedes, she really appreciated her mom. And I believe later on in the episode, when she was talking about her next move, she stated that she learned from her mom not to tell everybody what your next move is going to be. Just go out there and do it. So it goes to show you that even though Patrice is doing some of the things that she does, Mercedes still has that respect for her. And she still has love for her mom, even though Patrice crazy as hell. That lady straight up crazy. But what she did do, she went out there and she won. Now, Autumn Night has the audacity to go and confront Uncle Clifford about the deal made with Corbin Cow. We knew Uncle Cliff was plotting and planning with Corbin, and we knew Uncle Cliff was going to get even. Like Mom said, don't just sit there and cry, get even. And that's exactly what we saw. Autumn Night is talking about, you wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't because of me. I saved the club and all this stuff. Well, Uncle Cliff says, well, you won't be in this position if it wasn't for me. Hell, we saved your life. Me and Mercedes, we saved you. Like, what are you talking about? If anything, you owe us. And, you know, this is supposed to be or should have been a sisterhood, but you messed that all up. And Uncle Cliff is like, look, you can take this $250K and that's it. You know, buying the club back is something that Uncle Cliff wanted to do from the get-go. Autumn was talking about how she wants more money. This is not enough and this and that. She wants more. She wants benefits and all this. Look, that ain't gonna cut it. Uncle Cliff is like, well, you know, we helped you with the body. This is what we seen Big L, Diamond, and them in the back talking about, well, we got rid of the body, so I don't know what you talking about. We already helped you out a lot. So what do you really want to do? I mean, you really can be exposed for real if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, but they're not going to do that. Autumn is pissed off. She just leaves. She can't really say anything. Uncle Cliff is like, just because I'm quiet and peaceful does not mean I'm not willing to go to war. So Uncle Cliff definitely got the victory over Autumn Night overall, even though she came back at the end of the episode and slid that money out of that account. Now we get to Keyshawn. She goes to pick up her kids and we see her sister and we see the stepmother. And once we saw that stepmother, we already knew what time it was. We knew this was not going to go well. She's talking about she called Derek and, you know, talked to him and Derek came and picked the kids up. I was looking like, oh, hell no. Like, really? We saw how Alicia was looking. We knew based off her facial expression, things did not go the way she initially had planned things to go. Keyshawn was pissed off. Like, no, you didn't. Like, you know, talked to Derek. He picked the kids up. And I'm looking like, man, this girl can go. She can get dropped off. I'm tired of the stepmom. Now, Keyshawn, she heads over. And you already know it's going to be some bad news when she gets there. Now, Andre, he is trying to call Autumn. She's not picking up the phone. Matter of fact, the phone is disconnected. We don't even hear from her no more. He's going to visit his dad. We know they talked about that earlier on in the season about him going and having that conversation with him. Now we get back to Keyshawn. She's talking to Children's Services. They're investigating, you know, child abuse based on 2 incidents that was reported, right? And Keyshawn is kind of confused. She's upset. Derek is playing it off like he had nothing to do with it. He's pretty much low key, you know, pushing the blame at Keyshawn, like all this started when Keyshawn came back or whatever. He's trying to act all innocent and Keyshawn couldn't take it no more. All the frustration, it was getting in her head and she's like, oh, hell no, you not about to sit up here and act like you're innocent and low key put blame on me like I'm the one that caused this. Like you're the one to put your hands on these kids. And I'm looking like this dude, like really? This dude has to go. Like, stuff like this actually does happen. A guy like Derek would get off. That's why you got to put this dude down. I told you guys, she should have just called Wody. Wody would have got the job done. Wody would have knocked that little smirk off of his face. I am tired of seeing this dude's face. He got to go, but unfortunately, he is still here. Keyshawn gets so upset. She is remembering all the negative things people are, you know, said to her throughout her life about what she can't do and this and that. And she just flips out. She cannot hold it together anymore. And I got so pissed off. I'm looking like, man, Keyshawn, why out of all the times you decide to go off and go crazy on him right now? This is not the time to do that. You already see he's plotted a plan and, you know, making it seem like you did it. Just go along with it. They're not about to do anything to you. All they said they was going to do is make you do some check-ins and stuff like that. Go along with it and then come back at this dude. You going at him now, all that's going to do is make you look like the bad guy. And now you're going to get locked up. She did get some licks in or whatever, but she ended up getting arrested. So Derek, he has, you know, completed his game plan. It has worked. And now Keyshawn is screwed over and she's going to need some help. And you got the nerve to be calling Diamond now? Well, you should have let him handle it last season. Now look at you. You're screwed. Now, your girl Mercedes, she introduces Maine to her daughter Terica. And Terica, you already know she was on it. I'm going to tell you right now, Mercedes, you should have never brought her out there. You should have told her to go straight to the house. You don't want her around Maine. You don't want her knowing this dude at all because you don't want her around that life. Now, Maine is talking about he's pissed off with Mercedes because she was performing with Little Murder. Of course, he's on that gang stuff, but Mercedes ain't know that. She's like, look, We were just all out there having fun. We all was out there. Everything was just pink. She didn't see any issues with it. Of course, he has issues with Little Murder, and he states that Little Murder is the F word. We already know what that is. And he wasn't talking about Uncle Cliff. So now Mercedes is like, man, so is Little Murder gay? Like, what's going on with him? And this is how she, finds out the truth later on in the episode. But this whole thing with HVH and CFC seems like it's going to continue to go into the next season. Now we get to Grandma Ernestine's, celebration party. Everything is going good. She's kicking it with the African. Uncle Cliff is out there having a good old time. All of a sudden they play Pretty Brown Eyes. And then we see your boy Little Murder. He said, you know what? I'm coming back. Like, I love Uncle Cliff. I got to come back. I can't go on tour. I got to be here to see Grandma Ernestine and also to be with Uncle Cliff. And we know Grandma was happy to see him and everything was going good. Finally, we were getting some good energy. Everybody's having fun at the club. Doesn't seem like something that's going to happen, but we know that's not going to be the case. We know something is bound to happen, right? Now, Mercedes does confront Uncle Cliff about Little Murder, and now she understands that the two, are a couple. They are together, and she's surprised, like, man, I didn't even know, but now she does. Now, Diamond gets an unknown call. We already know who this unknown call is. It's your girl, Miss Mississippi, and now she needs Diamond to come and be her knight and save her. Like I told you guys earlier, maybe you should have had him do that last season. Big Bone is plotting and planning. She's watching his every move, and now she's like, okay, it is time for me to go get my, brother of the Delta Devoted and get ready to take down Diamond. Now, Keyshawn is talking about her little fairy tale and how her hair, she thought it was long enough, but the wolf swallowed the key. Well, you slipped up and you want Diamond to save you now? Diamond, you really went there and did this after what happened in season 1? I guess that kiss in last week's episode really got to you and you was really in love with Keyshawn and you felt like you needed to really save her. But just like last season, when you try to go save Keyshawn, you get screwed over, and that's exactly what ended up happening in this episode. You guys let me know, man, what do you think about Keyshawn? All I know is this: I'm tired of Diamond getting screwed over trying to save this girl. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation with him, and now he's going to suffer for doing it once again. Now, Mercedes tells Uncle Cliff the last night was her last dance, and she killed it. The way she was out there dancing, she wasn't playing around, so you can kind of tell it was her last dance. And Uncle Cliff is pissed off, like, oh, hell nah. Like, what I'm going to do now without my, my bottom bitch? Ain't no way you leaving me. But she is. This is it. She's going to dream new dreams, just like Uncle Clifford told her a few episodes back, right? So now it's going to be a new path for Mercedes, and hopefully everything does go well with her with this old dance studio, and at the same time being able to spend more time with Terica. Now, Uncle Cliff's ace boon, Coon, has decided she wants to be a part of Roulette Stable. She wants to be a part of this whole pimping scheme. And I'm going to tell you right now, Uncle Cliff's going to be pissed off when the truth comes out. And I'm pretty sure one of these girls is going to end up getting hurt. Something is bound to happen down the line between all of them. I can't see it going well, in my opinion. They already talking too much, so it's just a matter of time before Uncle Cliff finds out the truth. Now, Little Murder and Uncle Cliff have a very serious conversation about basically coming out. We know Little Murder, he wants to, take this relationship serious. This is the reason he came back in the first place. It seems like Uncle Cliff is trying to save Little Murder and, make him go out there and focus on his music. Little Murder's like, man, you trying to push me away? Ain't no way I'm doing that. Like, why are you acting so scared? They end up talking. It's very deep. Little Murder ends up telling Uncle Cliff about Big Teak and what happened that night and why he came to Uncle Cliff. Very emotional. I'm glad Little Murder expressed those feelings because he needed to. He was bottling up all those feelings for all these weeks, and now he was able to let them out. Uncle Cliff knows the full story, and now it is time for Little Murder just to let it all out. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Cliff ain't thinking that's going to happen, but we know Little Murder definitely was in it to win it, and he surprised everybody at the end of the episode. Then we get to Big L and Uncle Clifford. Now, Big L has let Uncle Cliff know that Autumn Night done went in there and slid about $24K out of the accounts. This girl don't play around. She's slick. Uncle Clifford was pissed off. Couldn't believe it at all. But we know Autumn. We know how she moves. She's slick. She's quiet. And you just never know when she's going to hit you, right? Big L is like, look, I told you, you should have just let me take care of her. we would have never have to worry about any issues with her. But now it is a little bit too late for that. That girl out on night, she done got up out of here. Uncle Clifford is going through it, and Big L does give Cliff some of those pills. Uncle Cliff was like, look, give me the whole bag. So I was like, man, Uncle Cliff gonna be on cloud 9 messing around with those pills and messing around with Big L. Now out on night, she's smiling like everything is good. She's feeling like she's won, but really you lost. You lost on $5 million. I guess she's just happy that she was able to get that money that she was able to get, and she's in a new area or whatever. Now, you guys let me know exactly where y'all think she went. Some people say it looked like it was like Chinatown or whatever in New York. It could be. It could be Tokyo. It could be China. We don't really know. Out on night just disappeared, and now she's in a new location. And what's going to happen? Will this be the last time we see her? Well, she's having Andre's kids, and, you know, we seen her holding her stomach. So that's going to be an issue, especially in this next upcoming season, if they actually announce it. Now, Uncle Cliff and Little Murder, this ain't no dream no more. Little Murder comes out and they start dancing. Little Murder is telling Uncle Cliff, look, this is no dream at all. Because at first I'm looking like, man, this is a dream. Ain't no way this happening. But Little Murder said, you know what? Nah, I'm tired of playing around. I want to show everybody, you know, my true feelings. I want to show everybody exactly who I am. And everybody at the club, they didn't give a damn, because everybody at the club, to be honest, they family to Little Murder and Uncle Cliff. They don't give a damn as long as they are happy. That's cool with them. I told you guys the big challenge is going to be them stepping out in the whole world outside of Club Pink, finding out and how they're going to deal with that. Now we see the spirit of Uncle Cliff's mother. She's there. She's happy that Cliff was actually able to, you know, find love, and it actually worked out. And the two had a great ending, at least. They've been through hell this season, right? But Uncle Cliff and Little Murder made sure that they was going to stick together no matter what. Little Murder stepped up to the plate, and when it was all said and done, he followed love. And we're going to see what's going to happen down the line. Y'all leave y'all predictions on Little Murder and Uncle Cliff. Now, the episode ends out with your boy Diamond going outside. He's, you know, preparing to go and save Keyshawn, trying to be the knight. And I already knew what was going to happen. I knew he was screwed. Of course, the pictures of Big Bone and the other member of the Delta Devoted, that got leaked out like a few days ago. So, I mean, we already knew what was going to happen, but still, we didn't know how it was going to play out. The fan prediction was true. Big Bone is a part of this whole Montavious Delta Devoted. This guy right here, he pops up because Diamond, even though he got stabbed, he was holding his own with Big Bone. He was not about to be taken out by one person. We start to see the PTSD in Diamond's head. He's going through so many different emotions mentally. And the dude is like, look, I ain't gonna kill him. That will be too easy. We see that ring. We know Big Bone is talking about, yeah, this is the guy that killed our lieutenant. Well, no, this ain't the guy that killed your lieutenant. I thought she was listening. What was you doing up in the club the whole time when Mercedes pretty much said she, you know, pulled the trigger on the wrong person? I mean, you've been snooping around and you don't know what happened? Well, I guess so. It is what it is. At the end of the day, Diamond got screwed up once again trying to save Keyshawn. And now he's dealing with Big Bone and Montavious is Delta Devoted gang. What's going to happen now? They put the dude in the trunk. He's kidnapped. What will they do? I mean, Autumn is gone. Really, all of this she brought to this club. And now Diamond, Mercedes, and Uncle Cliff, they're going to have to deal with this all. And hell, Big L, because he's there too. They're going to all have to deal with the aftermath of this. I just hope Diamond is able to win or at least survive all this, because to me, he don't deserve this. He shouldn't be in that trunk. Somebody else should be in that trunk. Hell, Derek should be in that truck. Take him out and say Derek did the shit. You know what I'm saying? We tired of seeing everybody else struggle, but the person that should be struggling. And all this episode did was make me want to see season 3 that much more. I was pissed off because I was like, man, we ain't got no more episodes. This is it. I told y'all we should get 15 of them, but no, we don't got 15 of them, y'all. This is the end of P-Valley season 2. Y'all let me know, man. What do you think about the whole season in general? I think this season was straight up fire. I mean, they attacked all different topics of discussion. Whether you liked them or love them, whether you hated them, they didn't give a damn. They had everybody talking, and no matter what, even if you did hate them, somehow, some way, you still tuned in each and every week to see exactly what was going to happen. But I want to thank you guys for all the love, all the support. Support me each and every week with these fan theories, going over different storylines, and just, talking about the show. It's been crazy. We will continue to talk about some of these storylines this upcoming week. And screw all that. We're going to continue to talk about P-Valley because we're going to make them give us a season 3. Y'all need to go on IMDb's website, Rotten Tomatoes website. Put those reviews up. Let them know y'all trying to see a season 3 because we ain't playing around. We got to see what happens next. We got to see, the ending of all these storylines because it ain't over, man. It's definitely not over. And I already know P-Valley gave Starz all types of views, all types of new money, and y'all know they ain't going to let this go. So I can't wait to see what's next. I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all very, very soon. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.